Yo, what is the deal, everybody? What is the deal? Welcome to another Raider Nation Unlimited. I'm your man, Wasted Talent. Figured I'd do a little fantasy football review. Everybody that is out there, please tell a friend to tell a friend. Get wasted with your brother wasted. Share this thing out to all social media. It is a Friday, Fantasy Friday. I have some special guests pulling up. You know, they're brothers from my own heart. You know the usual suspects. I got Hammer pulling up a little later, and I got my brother Big Mike pulling up. You know what I'm saying? So this is going to be a most splendiferous occasion, man. A most splendiferous occasion. You know, but listen, like I always say, let's start this podcast, everybody. Let's start it. Hold on. And it is going to start. God damn it, where did it go? It's supposed to start now. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. They didn't even have to do it. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Listen, you guys know that we don't cook unless there's over 100 in the room. Get wasted with your brother wasted. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Listen, I got the great and powerful Big Mike in the room. Now, I know this is not a normal Raiders show, but the beginning of the show actually is a Raiders show, right? Because what we're going to do is we're going to talk about fantasy, gambling, all of that stuff from the Raider perspective. If you guys are into rotisserie leagues, the great and powerful Hammer should be in the place to be. There's something wrong with my mouse right now, which is insane. It's nasty work. Big Mike is backstage. I can see him. You know what I mean? But right now, we're just going to get the show started, man. I'm trying to get my mouse charged up so I can control the chat because it's crazy in here, man. Shout out to everybody, man. What the F is going on here, man? You know what, man? You know what? I knew this was going to happen today, man. Every time I try to do something outside of the box, it's almost like the universe doesn't want me to, damn it. The universe doesn't want me to. I'm going to go Dr. Umar Johnson on y'all 3 times. The universe doesn't want me to. The universe doesn't want me to. The universe doesn't want me to, y'all. All right, let me see something here. All right, let me chill out here. We good to go. And boy, yo, Big Mike is in the place, man. Shout out, yo. Shout out to my brother Big Mike. What's up, Mike?
Man, good, man. Let's cook. Let's get to it.
Yeah, man. Hold on. We got to change. Big Mike is on. This is a splendiferous occasion. We got to change the background.
Yes, sir.
Sweet taste of victory. God, we only got 80 people. What the F is going on here? Tell a friend and tell a friend.
What's going on, man?
Nothing much, man. All right, now first and foremost, bro. You know, I'll start to cook. It's close enough to 100, right? But it's the thing, man. You know, fantasy football, this is the week a lot of people are having their draft. Some people have had them already. But if you're going to participate, this is the week that you most likely are going to go into that. Now, the Raiders have a bunch of high-powered skill players. High-powered skill players. They have a lot of guys on this roster that people across the National Football League who normally play fantasy might not be familiar with. You know, I wanted to get into that from a Raider perspective. Real quick before we get into the fantasy stuff, Adoree Jackson Jr., happy trails to Adoree Jackson Jr. He signed back with the New York Giants. There are a lot of people who wanted Adoree Jackson Jr. I, for one, was not one of them.
Yeah.
I was not one of them. Adoree Jackson Jr. has not played well in the last 3 years, man. So he is not a guy that I was looking forward to signing. Guys, we have another special guest here. He is a brother of my own heart. He is splendiferous. He is a GOAT. He is a guy that has some of the best graphics, some of the best concepts. I mean, listen, we got over 100 in the room. Get wasted with your brother wasted also. But we have the great and powerful Hammer in the place to be, Mick Hammerlin. Yes, sir.
My man, what's going on, bro?
That's right, Hammer. What is the deal? Yeah. Yo, shout out to Hammer, yo. So, guys, look, man, I'm not in the league yet. I was thinking about doing a league with some of the members of the channel. You guys in the chat, let me know if that's something that you guys would be interested in. But I wanted to give you guys some information and not some affirmation about this Raider roster. And Big Mike and Hammer are fantasy aficionados. You guys know that from the Sunday morning shows that we do. But I wanted to get into a little bit of what we're looking at this year for the Raiders. Right now, when you talk about the Raiders, just a quick overview of the Raiders from last season. Our head coach Antonio Pierce was 5-4 as interim head coach. Our offensive coordinator Luke Getsy is a 54% pass play ratio with the Bears as an offensive coordinator. Our offseason rivals are Gardner Minshew, 2 years, $25 million. Harrison Bryant, 1 year, $3.25 million. Jalen Guyton, who did not make this team. Alexander Madison, and key departures, Josh Jacobs. Austin Hooper, Jimmy Garoppolo, all those bums, and Hunter Renfrow. Now, guys, what say you about, some of the sleepers on this team, guys that you guys expect to kind of flash in fantasy football from a Raider perspective?
Yeah, so, add on to what you said, Getsy's top 10 in the league and running the 12 personnel. So what does that mean? That means that Brock Bowers and Michael Mayer is going to be their show. Let me pull up some stats for you because that's what we got to look into. So right now, Brock Bowers is tight end 11 right now. If you draft him, he's a
rookie is tight end 11. That's big, man.
Tight end 11. So he's in a 12-man league. He's a low end tight end 1, high end tight end 2. I would go with a tight end 2 at this point. He projected to go over about 600 yards, about 5 touchdowns. But a guy that a lot of people are sleeping on right now is Michael Mayer. Now Michael Mayer is projected to go over 300, have 313 yards and 2 touchdowns, and he's right now he's tight end number 27. Okay. Now, that is a steal if you can pick him up. I think he's going to exceed tremendously that number. If I had to look at and guess where he's gonna sit when it's all said and done, I'm looking at a guy like Isaiah Likely with the Ravens, and he's a tight end 18 right now. Yeah. And a lot of people are thinking that he's going to have a pretty big year, particularly in the red zone. And I think that Michael Mayer is going to have that similar type of year, go over 400 yards, almost 500 yards, and have a good number of touchdowns, especially in the red zone, around 5 or 6 touchdowns. And that'll put him probably around the tight end 14, 15 range. That's where I would have him. And I think that would be a good stash and steal in the later rounds, like 14th, 15th round, get a second or even a third tight end in a Michael Mayer and kind of stash him and see what happens.
Big Mike bringing a smack right off the bat. Hammer. Warm it up, Hammer. Warm it up, Hammer.
So we just talked about pretty much a tight end. That'd be in a spot right now in regards to fantasy, like where our guys are ranked. I love where Brock is. Mayer, they have a hell of a lot lower, and a start-sit grade for him as it stands right now going into the season is an F. It is what it is. Like, we saw what Brock did at Georgia. We know what he's capable of. The dude is a Swiss Army knife. We saw him during the preseason, even lined up as a fullback a couple of times here and there. The other two positions right now that, if you guys are looking, if you haven't done your drafts yet, Tay is ranked 11th right now going into this season. A guy that's been consistent in regards to his receiving yards, over 1,000 yards on average, just about every single season of his career, minus like maybe 2, maybe 3. You got the up-and-coming back that we've talked about going into his 3rd year in the league, the guy that is going to be the featured back for the Raiders this season in Zeus. Zeus, as it stands right now, is ranked 24th. Start-sit grade of a B-. I'm really curious. I'm intrigued to see what he does. I think he will be a guy that produces as potentially a running back 2 or maybe even a flex, but definitely a guy I would like to have in my lineup, or at least have him on the bench to start out, see how he's cooking the first few weeks. And then if you have one of your other backs that are down, or you think Zeus is better than one of the other backs you have on your fantasy team, then upgrade to the best of your ability. When it comes to the quarterbacks, both of them are actually on this list, surprisingly enough, but both of them have start-sit grades of Fs. You have Gardner Minshew, who's ranked 31st. You have Aiden O'Connell, who's ranked 35th.
Nasty work, bro. Nasty
I'm
work.
not going that route right now. If your backup quarterback is trash and Minshew is actually doing something, which I pray to God he is for us, of course.
Yeah.
Then you consider picking him up because I don't see a team right now or any fantasy owners trying to pick him up right away.
Now hold on, God. Hold on, God. You jump in the line. Hold on. Now this one thing. Hammer just came in with the smack as usual. Look, I want to kind of circle back before we get into Zeus, right? I want to circle back to the tight end caveat, right?
Okay.
Because tight ends in keeper leagues are big. Tight ends in PPR leagues are big. Yeah. You know, tight ends are they are the deciding factor in a lot of leagues. And if you have an elite tight end, a lot of people with the guys like the Travis Kelce's of the world, these are guys who are league winners, right? Because when you start looking to other positions, there are only certain tight ends that can give you that level of production on a consistent basis, right? Now, when you start talking about Michael Mayer, we know what Michael Mayer brings to the table. He is going to be a definite red zone threat. He's going to get you some cheap touchdowns. But I want to really focus in on Brock Bowers, man. Now, you know, domination at a powerhouse like Georgia is like intriguing, right? And a lot of times, man, you have this metric that people use to kind of predict future success in the NFL. It's receiving yards per team pass attempt. It's one of the strongest correlations to future NFL success. And the top career marks and that metric since 2018 is Brock Bowers, Michael Meyers. It's Brock Bowers and Michael Meyers, 1.6, 1.6. Adam Troutman at 1.3. Isaiah Likely at 1.3. Hunter Bryant at 1.3. And Trey McBride. So, you know, we have two of the guys that have ranked that. We have two of the highest ranking guys when you start talking about that metric, right? Now, Bowers' career passer rating when targeted is 141.9, ranked second in that same span. It's not surprising to see the only tight end higher than him is Kyle Pitts. So overall, Bowers is explosive, man. He's a pass catcher. He's a guy you can line up all over the place. I think Brock Bowers is a guy that really, if you are going to start looking for, and he's not really a sleeper. He's one of these rookies that I think are going to translate right now in today's National Football League. I think he's a guy that you got to start thinking about taking Brock Bowers in the third round.
I wholeheartedly agree with that, especially like dude of his size, no Diddy, 6'4", 230 pounds. I think now he actually bulked up a little bit. He's at 243, but like when he was at Georgia, he had at least 56 catches, 714 receiving yards in all 3 of his seasons there. Right now, the projection stands for him this coming season in his rookie campaign is 63 receptions, a little under 700 yards with 5 touchdowns. But I think touchdown-wise, especially having this 12 personnel system, especially when it comes to the red zone, he's going to be that safety blanket for Minshew. I think he's probably going to exceed more than 5. I think we're going to see something along the lines of like 8, maybe 9 touchdowns. When it comes to the receiving yards, I do think that he is going to go over 700 yards for the season.
700 yards. Big Mike. Warm it up, Big Mike. Oh, my God, man. This yo, you guys just, you guys have started this show off with so much smack. It's unbelievable, man. I can't believe I actually thought of doing this show by myself. I don't understand what the F I was thinking, man. Shout out to y'all. Love both of y'all, man. You guys are freaking phenomenal, man. I'm sorry.
Man, you know what? Here's the thing about Brock Bowers, bro. And just Raiders players in general. The typical NFL fan is sleeping on the Raiders and what we have cooking on offense. So you can get these guys later than what they're projected to go. People have him projected to go a certain round, but I know what people are going to do. Oh, he's on the Raiders. They don't have a quarterback. How are they going to get the ball? So they're going to pass up on these guys. Even a Davante Adams. I saw him listed as low as a wide receiver 2 at this point. This dude has a potential to put wide receiver 1 numbers up on a weekly basis. So, as far as Brock Bowers goes, you can pick him up 5th, 6th round, and that'll be an absolute steal.
It depends. Keeper league?
Yeah.
See, because this is the thing. If we're going from the keeper league metric, I think Bowers might go early because of the fact that next year they'll have him. And he's projecting to be a Travis Kelce-like pickup.
Yeah, he'll probably even be a 2nd round just because of upside and possibility of us getting another quarterback next year. I won't talk about who that might be next year, but yeah, in the keeper league, absolutely. He'll be a hot commodity for sure.
Yo, so look, let me get to some of these comments in here, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat, the greatest chat in YouTube history by far. Shout out to my brother, East Coast Gritted It at Iron. He is in the place. East Coast, I should have asked you to pull up too, bro, because I know you have something to add. I wanted East Coast Gritted It at Iron to come up in the place and add some more smack, because you guys are freaking phenomenal, man. My guy, Pig 76. Bowers fools with next level game sense. Get guys to take bad angles and then sheds arm tackles. And that is a very, very, very smart caveat. My guy, Mr. Cold Blood, is in the place. What it do, School and Hammer, dude? It will be smart to draft Raider players on the fantasy team this year, especially the defense and the field goal kicker. It is going to be a shock to the world this season. Shout out to my guy, Mr. Cold-blooded, man. Mr. Cold-blooded, a.k.a. creamed corn.
Yo, can I add a little bit to what he said about the defense?
Sir.
I was thinking
the Raiders are ranked as ADP 18th right now, which is tremendously low. That's ridiculous. The Raiders scored 5 touchdowns on defensive special teams last year, and they're only going to add on to what they did last year. Now, if you break it down, if you look by game, the Raiders, man, they had a game against the Packers where they had 12 points, fantasy points. Against the Lions, 13 fantasy points. Giants, 19 fantasy points. He had 8 sacks in that game. The Chargers, 25, 2 touchdowns, 3 sacks. The Vikings, 5 sacks, got 12 fantasy points. And then even Kansas City, 21 fantasy points. So the Raiders bringing in the same defense, continuity, consistency. They have the potential to put those kind of numbers up on a weekly basis, and they're ranked 21st. So, as far as picking up a defense, pick up 2 defenses. If you really set on one defense, get that first defense around the top, that top echelon, and then get the Raiders because people are sleeping on them and stash them. And then that might eventually be your defense 1, and you hold on to that.
Oh my goodness, Big Mike with a smack upon smack. Now let me ask you guys something. Let's get into this running back situation. Now Hammer really Hammer crushed it. But I need to circle back to the running back situation with the Raiders. Now, the Raiders have adopted a more of a running back by committee situation. There are a lot of people that might scare off, but we all know that if you look at this roster, the bell cow will be Zamir White this year. Like, what do you guys think about Zamir White as a running back 2 or possible flex player?
I like it as either or right now. Like I said, let's get through if you're a fantasy owner and you take him, I would draft him late. No disrespect, but at the same time, let's see what your second running back does. Let's see what your running back 2 does. Let's see what the flex does for you. And if you start to see that Zeus is getting the touches, because we all know, especially PPR leagues, the touches are going to play a huge role for him. See where you are within the first 2, maybe 3 weeks, and ultimately say, hey, is he better than my running back 2? Is he better than the flex? Let's move him up. I'm looking at the other running backs on our roster right now, on our depth chart. You have Alexander Madison right now. He's ranked 51st. You have Dylan Laube, who's ranked 71st right now. And I get that. If you're going to go the route of taking one of our running backs and you feel comfortable with Zeus, get him towards the tail end of your draft and see how it plays out the first 2, maybe 3 weeks of the season before you make a conscious decision if you're going to make him active as a flex or running back too.
Yeah, yo, thank you, Hammer. With more smack, Hammer. I wish that my stream deck is acting up, bro. I don't know what the F is going on here, but damn it, right now, Hammer, I wish I can give you the round of applause right now, Hammer. That was some serious smack right there. Thank you, Hammer. Thank you. Listen, so when you start talking about options outside of the backfield, right? I don't think Dylan Laube is draftable. To be honest with you, he hasn't done enough. I'm a Raider through and through. But if we're talking from a fantasy perspective, I'm going to stay away from that. Now, guys, going into this season, man, we all know Davante Adams is a guy that everybody would want to have on their team as their wide receiver 1 and or 2. But Jakobi Meyers is ranked wide receiver 52, man. What do you guys project for Jakobi Meyers? I have him having a big year this year.
He's going to have a career year this year. I think a Pro Bowl year. 728 yards is his projection and about 5 touchdowns. I think he'll exceed that. I think he's going to have almost double digit in touchdowns and flirting around that 1,000-yard mark. Jakobi Meyers, if you look into his numbers from last year, some of his bigger games, it kind of dictates what I'm talking about. He had a game, his first game against the Broncos, 20.1 fantasy points. Packers 13.5 fantasy points. Patriots 12.1. Bears 11 points. The Chiefs the first game 14.1, and then he finished off Week 18 against the Broncos with 18.6 fantasy points. So I think he's going to play a bigger role in this offense, and I think he's going to put up around 12 to 15 points, which will put him. That's a good pickup, a flex guy that can get you some big points. And just in case you do drop, you do have a wide receiver 2 that's on the bye week, or somebody gets injured, you can throw him in, stash him. People are going to be asking for him via trade and things like that. You can use that as capital, or you can hold him and then just throw him in there, when you need him. I think he's in for a big season.
I definitely do. Now, there's another wide receiver on our roster, and I want to bring him up because, based off of how he's going to be used, man, this is another guy, Trey Tucker, man. Hammer, what's your thoughts on Trey Tucker going forward this season? And we got almost 200 in the room. You wasted with your brother, wasted. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Listen, man, it is amazing that almost 200 of you have pulled up for a fantasy football show, man. Thank every single one of you guys. The greatest chat in YouTube history. Shout out to the fly and wonderful Yvette Niles, the great and powerful Martin from way across the pond, LV Maximus, the security for Mount Shieldmore, Mod Father Extraordinaire, Hug D's, Mod Father Extraordinaire. I call LV Maximus LV Smaximus because he got big barbecue rib hands. And if he slaps the living taste out of your mouth, that's it. You're over. But Hammer, what do you think about Trey Tucker, my brother?
Pint size, slot, 5'9", 185 pounds. This is a guy looking at the projections. I feel like the projections are just incredibly disrespectful. 35 receptions for the year, 425 receiving yards for the year. How many touchdowns? Maybe 1. Hold on. No. 2.
I got him taking one to the crib, man, returning the ball.
That's a
he going like Terry Porter. He going to the crib.
Looking at his season projections, is just completely disrespectful. I could see him potentially having probably something a little over 50 receptions. I think receiving yards, he'll probably get close to probably 550. Receiving touchdowns, I would say probably double, maybe 4, maybe 5 on the year. And then who's to say you don't throw him in the backfield or catch him on an end-around lead and get some rushing yards as well? He's a guy that you would probably leave as a free agent for the time being.
Yeah.
See what he's doing. See what he's doing average-wise with his return yards. See what he's doing on the offense, and see how much he's contributing. But as of right now, as it stands, he's ranked with the strength of schedule. He's ranked 24th. Draft rank, he's ranked 316. This is not a guy I'm taking right this second.
Yo, guys, really quickly, shout out to Martin from way across the pond. It is an ungodly hour over there. People in England, they do not go to bed after midnight. Step up a lip, Martin. Tea and crumpets, chip cheerio, Martin. We will see you tomorrow, my brother.
Snooker partner, bro.
That's right. The snooker extraordinaire, man. Yo, you guys got to be a member to get off my long game to get this great content. But guys, really, really quickly, man, my guy, Victor Natavidad. Where's Navidad? I'm sorry. I had a hooked on phonics moment. What the F's going on here, man? As educated as I am, let's go. Wasted. I've been waiting for a fantasy football stream from you guys. Thank you, brother. And asking you shall receive, Victor. Ask you shall receive. Hammer, I did not mean to interrupt you. I got to make sure that we are keeping the chat fully engaged, my guy Hammer. So listen, guys. Broke a little bit of the Raider stuff down, right? We kind of beat this to a fine pace. I want to go into some sleepers for people who are about to go into their draft this week, man. Sleepers. Let's get into some rankings of positions, and then we can get into a little Raider news, and we can get the F out of here, man. And guys, in the chat, if you guys have any questions before your draft, after your draft, put them in the chat. You know how we do. We are live show aficionados. We will answer your questions in real time, everybody. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Hammer, so let me ask you really quickly, man, in your leagues, right? Who is your QB number one, man? If you had your druthers, fantasy-wise.
I'm going to get kicked off the cliff when I say this.
Don't get unceremoniously blocked, Hammer. I know what you're about to say. If you say Kermit, you are about to be blocked. The F out of here, Hammer.
Realistically, it would be 1A, 1B between him and Lamar Jackson.
Action Jackson.
Solid numbers every single year. Like, what's funny is, though, going into week one, you have Josh Allen as number one ranked. Going into week one, he's an A+, while these other guys, 1A, 1B, and Jalen Hurts as well, they're graded A's for start sits, but if I'm going with my number one QB, it would either be Kermit or Lamar Jackson. Consistent numbers week in, week out. You guys know what they're capable of doing. They're going to help your fantasy team win, whether you want to hear that or not.
You know what I want to hear? I want to hear that he got his sternum cracked. F him. He'd be slammed on his back like the jabroni he is. F him. I just can't do it, man.
That's a good question right there. Do you all think CJ Stroud has a sophomore slump? Absolutely not.
No.
The way that this team, the way that the Texans front office has built this team throughout the last 2 years, they have a blueprint out there right now that if they potentially get to the AFC Championship game, this is going to be a blueprint that every team in the league is going to want to follow after. You have the quarterback on his rookie contract. You brought in some elite vets at their respective positions as well. You found ways to get out of some of those elite talents contracts. Steph Diggs, he had 3 years remaining on his contract. Threw that shit out the window. He's going to be a free agent at the end of this year. Like, the way that they built that defense up as well, and they have a whole bunch of rookies on that defense on rookie contracts, I'm telling you right now, I feel like the weapons that CJ Stroud has around him, he is going to feast again this season, and I have them winning the AFC South this season.
Hammer, I will disagree with you vehemently just because I think I should. I think CJ Stroud is going to have a sophomore slizump. Yes, my friend. I think CJ Stroud is going to get slammed on his back like the jabroni he is.
You really think that, or are you just doing it?
No, I'm just.
I was like, wait a minute, bro. I don't even sound.
I don't even believe that. No, he's gonna cook, man. Like, let me not do this. It's a fantasy football show. It's so hard for me to root for these guys in the AFC. So I'm like, oh, Jordan Love, because he's in the NFC. But
yeah,
at the end of the day, CJ Stroud is box office. You know, his accuracy. You know, this is the reason why we were screaming from the mountaintops for dumbass Josh McDaniels to draft him. You know, his accuracy, the way he steps up and climbs the pocket, the way he sees the field, the way he processes is elite. He's accurate. He throws the ball down the field, and he's only going to get better. The game's going to slow down for that kid. He's going to be picking people apart all year, and they built that team up in a way where there are no major deficiencies offensively, you know, as far as from the tight end position, running back, wide receiver. He has a myriad of weapons. DeMeco Ryans as a head coach is one of those guys that he's going to get the best out of his defense no matter what. And they also, you know, they have a stud. Will Anderson, bro. Like this team is prime for success. And there's another guy down in that South and AFC who was highly, highly overrated, Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson's never been a guy who's ever been able to stay healthy. He throws the ball over places. He's inaccurate. I think the Colts are going to be in for a rough year this year.
They got Anthony Richardson ranked quarterback 5, and from what I'm looking at. But a guy that we got to start paying attention to, and we haven't mentioned at all, Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is quarterback 7. Yeah, he's looking to make a comeback. That'll be a good guy to pick up, maybe in the 4th, 5th round. If you're looking for a quarterback, sometimes you got to reach a little bit for quarterbacks because people love quarterbacks. Depending on the league you're in, you got to pick them up a little bit early. So maybe a 4th round, you got to get Joe Burrow. And if you're worried about injury, you got a guy like Tua, who's quarterback 17, who's going to put up big numbers in Miami. So we're talking.
Are you talking about Tua turning the ball over?
Well, yeah, he's gonna turn the ball over, but he's gonna put up 300 a game. Like
Tua turn the ball over. Yo, shout out to my man Mike.
But do you have him? Wait, you have him as a sleeper?
As a sleeper, I have him just in case.
Oh, okay.
You pick a Joe Burrow as your quarterback 1, and then you go and get a Tua as your quarterback 2 for one good game. And if in case Joe Burrow gets hurt, you could throw him in and he's going to put up numbers for you. Now, of course, you're going to have to look for somebody else to fill that spot because I wouldn't want to rest my whole season on what Tua brings to the table. Right. But, for one game, couple of games, he gets hot and he puts up big numbers. Miami has a hell of an offense over there. So
and somebody got to throw the ball to Waddle and Tyreek Hill.
Right. So that'll be a strategy that you look at, a Burrow and Tua kind of duo for your team.
So really quickly, man, my guy, show low man. If you have a late pick, do you take AR fantasy? And we kind of answered that previously, bro. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm staying away from Anthony Richardson. And I know, all the measurables, people haven't projected to tear the league up. But Anthony Richardson has never showed me, even in college, he could stay healthy. And him being a run-first quarterback, you can almost guarantee that you're going to be starting, your second quarterback a lot. He's the guy who gets hurt. He's a big dude, but the way that he runs that football, I don't think that he's mastered the art of sliding and throwing the ball. I think he's more limited of a passer than Lamar Jackson was when he came into the league.
I can give you a list. I can give you a list of sleepers right now that you could potentially take if you want to take late, as opposed to taking Anthony Richardson, Trevor Lawrence, Kirk Cousins, Will Levis, Geno Smith, Matthew Stafford, maybe even Deshaun Watson. I know we have not really seen the Deshaun Watson from the Houston days, but I wouldn't be surprised if he can stay healthy. He would be a hell of a lot more of a viable option if your QB1 is either hurt or on his bye week. But I would definitely take the flyer on Deshaun Watson.
So you have Deshaun Watson come through, have the fluff girl in the locker room and everything, get him ready to roll.
Here we go.
Get them all lathered up.
Oh my God.
Hey, another guy you want to avoid is Brock Purdy. Now, he played into the second quarter against the Raiders that last game.
Mm-hmm.
That tells me that there's some problems going on with that offense. That as that continue over into the season, this might be a cold take. But people are talking about how Brock Purdy is benefiting from being in a system with all these weapons.
Yep.
And when the weapons go down, when there's injury, he's not as effective. So he's I think he's like in the top 10. He's like quarterback 10 or something. It's 8, 9. Yeah, he's quarterback 10. That's way too high. I wouldn't even look at Brock Purdy if I were you. I would go past that and find somebody else.
I mean, some people have Brock Purdy as a sleeper for MVP this season.
Yeah, that's
I think that's a little that. Listen, man, listen. I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, Brock Purdy is the most fortunate man in the National Football League. When you start talking about sleepers, look none other than Jared Goff.
Oh yeah,
Jared Goff is a big time sleeper. Jared Goff's a guy that let me bring up some of Jared Goff's numbers, man. Jared Goff is one of those guys that if you're going to load and front load, sorry, a little indigestion. When you're going to front load your team, if you taking a quarterback late, like 5th, 6th, 7th round, Jared Goff is one of those QBs that should be available to you, and he can give you starting level play. And from a fantasy perspective, man, a lot of times that's my strategy. I like to front load my team. I like to go, best player available, wide receiver and or running back. I alternate both positions. If I get a tight end in the 5th round, I grab them. You know what I mean? To try to make sure that, my skill position guys are well represented. And with the quarterbacks, I kind of, what I do is I kind of go middle of the road QB, 2 middle of the road quarterbacks. Guys like Kyler Murray. Now, Kyler Murray is also a sleeper. He's coming off an injury-riddled season. He's a guy who makes plays with his legs. He's also a guy that is been very, very productive throwing the football too in his young NFL career. He just hasn't been able to stay on the field. But Kyler Murray and Jared Goff are two guys that I would kind of take a look at now. In the 2023 season, Jared Goff had 4,500 yards. He had 30 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Now, this is a guy that nobody's talking about. But Jared Goff is one of those QBs you got to keep your eye on in fantasy if you're a real player.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. No doubt. I agree.
Black Sunday says, I always get great value on Dak. He gets overlooked in the draft a lot, but he always puts up numbers for me. Sorry, Hammer.
No. I said, if you look on the screen, there's a projection right there that I put in there for you to share.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Hammer. You technologically advanced bastard. You. Thank you. Jared Goff, man, 45, 70. Yo, can I just say something? I'm sorry. I don't mean, look, I want to be professional here. Man, I am overwhelmed with the greatness of Hammer, man. Thank you, brother. For real, man.
Man, bro.
No, for real, look at this shit, man. I've never looked this professional ever. But yeah. Yeah, but look at this, man. When you look at this, look at Jared Goff, man. 4,500 yards. Come on now, man. Bullshit, Mr. Handman. 30 tuds, man. I mean, this is a guy that if you are a fantasy guy, this is a guy that most people would overlook. You're going to hear those names like Anthony Richardson. You're going to hear those names like Lamar Jackson. You're going to hear those names like people who are not as savvy, because there's always that one idiot in the league that thinks that a quarterback that was good 5 years ago is just as good as he was this year. You're going to see the Josh Allens of the world off the board before Jared Goff. You're going to see, possibly Aaron Rodgers. The Jets are darlings in fantasy football, right?
Yeah.
Look, I'm going to be honest with you. Jared Goff could be there for you in the 5th round.
Hug D, Stafford is a sleeper, bro. I say pick him up late if you can. Somebody had asked about Anthony Richardson before. I would take somebody the likes of Stafford, and I've always talked very highly of Stafford throughout his career just because the guy has always been very, very consistent with his numbers. He's a guy that was always averaging well over 300 yards a game, always had the right weapons around him. It was just he was playing among shitty teams. Their defenses weren't that great, what have you. But Stafford is a guy that's always been a solid, productive quarterback, especially when it comes to fantasy football.
Yo, let me ask you guys a quick question. And this is another guy I was going to bring up. You're jumping the line, McGee's Raider. Baker Mayfield. Sam, you got any numbers on Baker Mayfield? Baker Mayfield. The man with 2 last names as his name. Baker Mayfield.
Let's see.
Yeah, but Baker Mayfield is another sleeper, man. I mean, Baker Mayfield's lighting up down there with Mike Evans.
ADP has him as a QB 21. This is a guy, like I said, this is another guy that I actually had on my sleeper list. I'm trying to find the projection on it.
Daniel Caps Keenan, man, with the blasphemy, he says you can get Baker after the draft. It depends on how deep of a league. It depends on how deep of a league you have.
So last season he finished in QB 10 in total fantasy scoring. He was only QB 18 in fantasy points per game amongst quarterbacks who played at least 5 games. Look, he just got the extension. He definitely bet on himself with that extension. They brought back Mike Evans. He got an extension as well. I'm not really sure about the other receivers that he has around. Is Godwin still there?
Yeah, Godwin's still there.
I just feel
and they
like
got that rookie from Washington too, probably as a third receiver.
I'm curious to see where here are the projections right here. So the projections are 268 fantasy points, 562 pass attempts for 3,944 yards. They're expecting to throw 26 touchdowns, 1 rush touchdown, 12 interceptions, 52 rush attempts, 171 rushing yards.
Low-end quarterback too.
Yeah, this is definitely a sleeper. He's definitely a low-end QB2, most definitely.
Yep.
Yo, so really quickly, guys. Really quickly. So I wanted to ask you guys something, man, because this is a question by the great Paulie Walnuts, my Jersey brethren. Shout out to Paulie Walnuts. Any thoughts on Ron for comeback player of the year?
Potentially.
Yeah, he's probably. I haven't looked at any of the numbers, but I would say he's probably the favorite to win that, especially if he stays upright all season.
Yeah, I have him and Derrick Henry.
Yeah,
him and Derrick Henry kind of neck and neck for that metric. Now, really quickly, guys. Now, when we talk about we've gone over the skill position players, let's get into the wide receivers really quickly, and then we can do some special teams guys. We can get out of here. I know Big Mike's got things to do. Hammer McHammerlin is busy being great as usual, and for me right now, man, I'm just thinking. I'm thinking to myself, man, should I do a league? Now, people in the chat, man, members of the channel, this is only a member thing that you can get involved with over here at Raider Nation Unlimited. If you're a member of one of our channels, I'm thinking about doing a league. Thinking about doing a league, man. I try not to get into too many fantasy leagues because you have certain years where you have more than one team and you're rooting for one dude and against, you forget to set your leagues. But I will do one league this year because my family league, I haven't gotten the invite from my family league. I think I've been unceremoniously booted from my fantasy league because I've won it 3 years in a row.
it ain't fair, man.
I'm not one this season.
No, you're not doing it this season?
I haven't been invited to a single one.
If I do one, you would definitely be invited.
Appreciate it. I did put something up yesterday. I do have 2 different pools set up though for those that are interested. It's a $10 buy-in for each. We're gonna do the Eliminator one, and we also have the Pick'em, which we've been doing the last couple of years. Desert Raider is 2-time champ. God help us all.
Yeah, I gotta dethrone that dude, bro.
But
Desert Raider.
Those that are interested, go over to my page on the community post in both leagues. The links are there. Again, it's $10 for each one. I have the Cash App and the PayPal in the description. Once you guys make the payment, I will send you guys the password for the league. It is a private league. Come on in. Let's have some fun. You guys can do your shit talking during the lives about it, where you guys stand, whatever. But it's another interactive thing to do with the nation, and a lot of you guys have been doing it and have had a lot of fun doing it. So make sure to check out the community posts and click those links if you're interested.
Yo, my man Daniel Capskin, he said, if I'm there, if invited, you already know. My guy, Robert Cisneros, I'll win it if I'm invited. Robert, you were definitely not invited. You look like a piece of chewed up chicken fat. Yeah, get the F out of here. That's my dog, man. Cisneros already know he's
Hey, I'm catching up, bro. Watch out, bro. I'm catching up.
Oh, you think you getting brolic, son?
I'm about to catch him, bro.
Get me motivated, bro. I've been losing weight, man. I ain't really been lifted. I'm getting old, man. I'm getting old. Yo, bro, this is crazy, man. Like lately, man, it has been very, very it's been crazy, man. Yo, like the AFC Roundup. Shout out to those guys, the AFC Roundup. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Lesbian Dracula. Shout out to all of them over there, man. But yo, my guy can't get right. Yo, listen, y'all pay y'all bar tabs too, man. Don't forget, I know this isn't a normal Raider Nation Unlimited show, but y'all pay y'all bar tabs. my guy AC Ybarra says he's down for a league. So on the way out, man, kickers. I mean, when do you guys normally get your kickers?
At the end.
So at the end, most people do. So who are your top 5 kickers, Hammer?
Jesus Christ. Top 5 kickers: Evan McPherson, Jake Elliott, Harrison Butker, Justin Tucker, and Tyler Bass are the top 5.
What about that kid from Dallas?
Aubrey is number 8.
That kid is a beast, man.
A 66-yard field goal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Brandon Aubrey, yeah.
Hammer, what about you, my brother?
Yeah, they got Aubrey as kicker 4. One guy that I'm looking at, and it has everything to do with who's at quarterback with the Saints, is Blake Groupie. They're going to be kicking a lot of field goals over there. So, you know how DC does it. He gets you to the point where you're about to score and then can't quite do it. So you're going to have the kicker out there often. He is kicker 6, 7, 8. He's kicker 9.
Wait. Did we talk about this guy?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's exactly who I'm talking about.
Or are we talking about this guy? Forky.
No, actually,
the great and powerful Forky. Trash.
Yo, Derek Carr got strays out of nowhere on this one, but you got Blake Groupie as a kicker number. Right now it says last season he was kicker 10. ADP has him kicker 20, but I would pick him up. Kind of like a sleeper, because I think they're going to be kicking field goals a lot.
I do too. And guys, I have a live feed from the New Orleans Saints facility right now. That's right. It's a dumpster fire down there. It's a dumpster fire. Derek Carr's an effing bum. It's an effing bum. I'm sorry, guys. I had to hit him. God! Wow! I had to. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry, man. Sorry.
Shut your lame ass up.
Oh my God.
Late groupie. Yo, my guy Alex and Spencer Rattler gonna be taking over in a few weeks.
Oh yeah,
I don't know about that, bro. You think he's gonna be taking over already?
The moment he takes over is the moment Dennis Allen also gets fired too.
That's what I'm thinking too, man. I think Spencer Rattler is a great value version of Patrick Mahomes. I don't think it's gonna happen this year, but it'll happen eventually.
Yeah.
Spencer Rattler looks like he's missing a chromosome or something. Like, he looks fucked up, don't he?
Yeah, he looks like uncooked chicken, bro.
Yeah. Don't he? He looked like unseasoned chicken.
Yeah, for real. Nasty work, bro.
Yo, Dave, he said Kamara's a PPR machine with garbage throwing them checkdowns to him. That's a fact.
That's true.
That is a fact, man. Maybe DC Forky could be a guy who throws for 40 tutties this year. What are you thinking? Is Derek Carr your sleeper fantasy QB? He's always killed me in fantasy.
No, he's not even. Hold up. Let me see the rankings, because now I'm very, very intrigued. Is Carr's ranked 28th?
Yeah, ain't happening. He just, no.
Carr,
that dude
28.
Is an F start. That's what his grade is. F for start 6.
Damn, yo. My guy Steve Harbaugh called him a discount Mahomes. Listen, I think that's being generous. I think he's the Tebow version of Patty Mahomes.
Yeah.
It's Tebow Mahomes. Yo.
Man.
Guys, man. They called Spencer Rattler the missing link. Yo, so guys, really quick, before we get out of here, we got to give them some Raider smack real quick, man. What do you guys think about some of the moves that have been made? We're going to transition out of fantasy stuff, guys. Guys, thank you for pulling up and adding tremendous value. I wanted to give everybody a quick fantasy show, man. But guys, if you guys want to hear a little Raider talk, we're going to go another like 10, 12 minutes and get on out of here. What did you guys think about, some of the moves we made, the Byron Young move, us bringing in the corner from the Giants? Like, what have you guys been thinking?
Darnay made a lot. Like, it makes sense. It was added depth, and you see they did the IR. They took Faison off the IR, and he got his settlement, so he can go bye-bye now. Thank God. Darnay, familiar with Patrick Graham's system, as he played with the Giants a couple years back. Really huge familiarity there. Byron Young, I really thought that when it came to the 53-man roster that it was going to be a toss-up between him and Nesta Jade. So I'm not really surprised. Like, I remember Elite had called in, I think it was like a week ago, and I said I looked at Nesta Jade being as one of those guys on the bubble, but he earned that spot.
NJS, man. Yo, I'm very proud of that kid, man. He pulled it all together. He's a guy who kind of got himself in a bind last year with this regime. He's really, really pulled it together, man. I'm very, very proud of Nesta Jade Silvera, man. Big Mike, man, what do you think about the Byron Young situation? He was a guy that we were high on, third round pick. They've given up on him a little early, and I'm a little concerned about him going to the Eagles, man, because they kind of they always kind of get a hold of these trench guys and develop them, man.
Yeah, and he's kind of in the right development. He's kind of in the right situation with the Eagles, being that he's with his SEC brethren, Jordan Davis and
Jalen Carter,
all them dudes. So, he can, kind of create that brotherhood with them and kind of find his way. He's with a lot of youngsters too. So that is a perfect situation for him if he's going to develop. I'm kind of worried about it, but at the same time, it wasn't working out with us. It seemed like he didn't play much last year. And it must have been a reason why he didn't play much last year, because maybe he just wasn't, as advertised. Maybe they made a mistake in picking him up in the third round. So this year he just didn't cut it, and guys were playing better than him. So
yeah, he was getting he was actually it was a jailbreaker on the front of that defensive line, bro. When he was on the field,
stop the run.
They couldn't stop the run, and he was soft as baby shit up front with us.
Yeah, so hopefully it works out for him. It's gonna suck if it does work out, somewhere else for him, because that was our guy. But the circumstances that were put forth, he needed a new change of scenery. So I'm all right with it.
Look, it's something I brought up yesterday. I kind of want to bounce this off you guys. Now with the home situation, man. If the Raiders in their infinite wisdom felt like they needed a veteran present in their locker room, why did they not make a move with Stephon Gilmore? Like, the thing about Tom Telesco, I've enjoyed some of what he's done with this team. I can't lie, but there's a piece of me that thinks that he's a little gun shy when it comes to making certain moves. Right now, I'm not in the locker room, and I'm not at the table. I don't know the intimate details into why or how, but I think that if you're going to bring in a veteran guy, Stephon Gilmore is infinitely better than what they've gone out there to bring in, man. I just don't. I don't understand why they did not think about bringing in a Stephon Gilmore.
Yeah, I feel like they took too long to try to make a move. I would hope that they had him on their on in their crosshairs to pick him up. Yeah, and they just made the move too slow. Accidentally, we got a guy in Holmes that can come in as plug and play. He was a Patrick Graham guy, so it kind of benefits us, in a sense that he can come in, plug and play, and there's not really much of a learning curve. So you do have that advantage, but you were kind of hoping that you bring in a veteran and pull the trigger on that move a lot earlier.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's like Holmes is a backup. Was a backup with the Giants. He didn't really get a lot of snaps last year, man. Like, I just, I would prefer to leave a young guy on the damn field than bringing in Holmes, man. Like, yeah. I'm going to bring up some of his PFF numbers. Like, from 2023, he had 11 solo tackles, 2 picks, 15 targets, 12 receptions allowed. Overall grade is 63.9 right now. So, hold on, I'm just trying to sign in right here. Okay, I'm signed in. So I just want to bring this up on the screen, man. Now, look, he at the end of the day, man, this is a guy who kind of made the most of a lot of his snaps. He made the most of his snaps.
Darnay Holmes?
That was Darnay Holmes, man. So look, I'm gonna share my screen right here, man. From PFF. McHammerlin. There we go. Now, run defense, little woeful. Pass rush, he's a corner. Coverage grades pretty high. 11 solo tackles, 3 stops, 1 missed tackle, 2 picks. Passer rating 72.9, and yards per reception 13.8. So, he's not he wouldn't have been the first guy that I would have went out there and brought in. I like the fact that he has 2 interceptions. You know what I mean? With not that many snaps. I mean, the guy did not have a lot of snaps last year. Let's just be for real here, man. For him to get 2 interceptions, man, I think it's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Every blind squirrel finds a nut.
Whew, Hammer, man. Hammer, what the heck? And what's happened to you since you've taken your break? You have come back very, very agitated. I mean, what the F, man?
My man's been taking his apex.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Men of Order, too, man. Go in there, hit that link, going over to Men of Order, and go get you some Apex, get you some flow, get you some rest. I am one of the proprietors of that company. I want you to go on over there and tell them Wasted sent you 30% off using the code Wasted when you go in there. Big Mike is a living testament. He is the beast of Apex right now. He's really got me motivated. I've been slacking on my Mackin because I'm old and I'm a lazy bastard. But I'm gonna tell you something. Big Mike has got me so motivated. I might go to the gym. It's 8:30 out here on the East Coast, and Big Mike is gonna have my wife questioning if I got something going on with a young lady or something like that. I'm going to the gym. It's Friday night. I ain't got to go to work tomorrow. It's time to get in.
Don't get yourself in trouble, man.
Nah, I'm gonna go right upstairs and lay up under Miss Wasted.
There you go.
That's it. Hammer, man. So Hammer, let me ask you a question, man. Like, with some of the moves that have been made, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does it worry you a little bit that they're not as enamored with the depth that they brought in from this whole offseason? The fact that they had to go out and make a move this early, man. And my guy Hug D's with the $5 holler, man. Holmes, the 1 inch taller version of Amik Robinson. Compare the stats. Not super impressed, but he's a Graham guy. Now, when people say he's a Patrick Graham guy, like, I gotta, like, bro, you know who's a Patrick Graham guy? Freaking, and I don't know what you guys think about this, man, because I heard this man might be available. Hammer, you go ahead and answer, man. I'm sorry, bro. I'm gonna pull something up, but I want to show you guys something.
No Diddy.
Oh, come on, bro.
Yeah,
come on, man. We just answer the goddamn question. Diddy bull crap. The F is wrong with you, Hammer?
It's tough to say. Like, maybe they felt that some of the pieces that they did have, like on this 90-man throughout training camp and everything, like some of these guys just were not consistent enough. Like, if they were rotational pieces and their number was called, they were not going to be able to get the job done. They felt there were guys on the outside that were better fit. And I'm fine with that. I'm good with the depth that we have right now. I like what this roster looks like. The only question I have, and not really question, the only thing that I'm still going to continue to be worried about until we see consistent wins and we see 24 plus points a game by our offense is our quarterback situation. And we're going to have to go a full 18 weeks, hopefully more than that, with these quarterbacks.
Yeah, man. I mean, look, dude, I'm going to be honest with you, bro. Like, now you have certain guys that are out there, right? And I want to see what you guys think about this, man, because there's a few guys that are still out there on the waiver wire, and some guys that could be available via trade who have done pretty well with Patrick Graham, right? And I'm gonna bring some of those names right now. I showed this on my show yesterday, right? The corners that have done the best under Patrick Graham. Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
James Bradbury, 2020, 79.8 grade PFF. Adoree Jackson Jr., who went back to the New York Giants, 74.9 in his 2021 season. That's the last season he actually played well. And Rock Ya-Sin with the Raiders, 2022. And James Bradbury, again, he appears twice. Now, let me ask you guys something. Would you guys be against bringing in a Rock Ya-Sin?
No, I wouldn't. And, I was looking more into Darnay Holmes' numbers, especially we were talking about that he's a Patrick Graham guy. And, correct me if I'm wrong. Was it the 21 season and 2020 season he was with the Giants?
Yeah.
Yep. So, yeah, Darnay Holmes' numbers aren't great. I mean, he had a coverage grade of 60.4 in 2021. And then in 2020, he had a 48.8 under Patrick Graham. So, we're saying that he's a Graham guy. It's easy for us to say that, but under Graham, he wasn't great. So
yeah, it's funny. He's more of a Wink Martindale guy, as somebody brought up in the chat. Shout out to whoever brought that up in the chat, man. But right now, man, I'm sitting up here just because he played for Patrick Graham. We call him a Graham guy because why would they bring him in if Patrick Graham didn't think favorably of him? I'm sure Patrick Graham has a seat at the table when it comes to that decision, right? Shout out to my guy Yo Raider. Why not get Witherspoon from the Rams? I mean, Witherspoon is a big, rangy guy. He kind of seems like he's always he's always in that discussion. What is what's the deal with Witherspoon, man? I'm not as familiar with his game as I should be. I'm not gonna lie to you, man.
Neither am I.
Yeah, I don't. So
last year, let's PFF it, right?
I'm already on it, bro.
John Witherspoon.
Yeah.
But hey, Keller Witherspoon, 61.6 cover grade, 3 interceptions, 46 solo tackles. Decent numbers, I guess. And I don't know. It's comparable to Darnay Holmes, to be honest with you. It's the same about the same numbers. Now, the only advantage is that Darnay Holmes has familiarity with this, with this defense. Now, he wasn't great when he was under this defense, but he does have familiarity with Patrick Graham, and it may have built some sort of rapport with him. So that's why they probably preferred him over a guy like Keller Witherspoon.
I mean, the one thing about Keller Witherspoon is he is 6'2", 4.45 speed, man. Big guy, man. I mean, to me that's the AFC West, that might be something that you might want to have. You might want to have that, because that's one guy that's the one guy we don't have in this cornerback room is that tall. We do. Cameron Richardson's about the same size, right? But I'm talking about it from a veteran perspective. That would be a good addition to this roster, I think. You know what I mean? He's not setting the world on fire, right? But last year, 3 picks, 46 tackles, 99 targets, 48 receptions allowed. So he's kind of like 50% pretty much. It's a 50-50 thing.
That's right.
4.3. He's great in run defense.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Great in run defense, 46 solo tackles. So he is a working corner, man. He will fit you up and tackle you. So, I mean, he's a guy that would take a flyer on. I mean, why the hell not?
Yeah, and also, I mean, he's pretty consistent too. I'm looking back as far as 2021. He had a 78.8 coverage grade with 3 interceptions once again. So this is a guy who's consistently getting about 2 to 3 interceptions a season. So when he's putting in a situation where he's going to be starting. So I mean, a big defender like that, like somebody who can also stop the run, would be a good fit.
Yeah, I mean, Hammer, is there anybody that's floating? James Bradbury. What's the story on James Bradbury, Hammer? Do you?
He's down. He got a serious leg injury the other day. They said he's out 6 to 8 weeks. This just happened yesterday.
Yeah, so James Bradbury is not somebody that we would be considering right now.
One that is out there, but this is still, to me, a buyer beware because of off-field issues. Still a free agent. Xavien Howard.
Hammer. Warm it up, Hammer. Warm it on up, man. Pull the numbers up, man. We got to see this, man. This is one of those shows where we are pulling numbers to F up. What say you, my man?
Hold on.
So you want to bring in Xavien Howard. Now, Xavien Howard.
I'm hesitant. That's the thing. Like, we know his caliber play, but I'm very, very hesitant just because of the off-field issues.
Well, bro, when you talk about his caliber of play, I think what's more concerning is the caliber of person he is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He is not the kind of guy that I would want to bring in his locker room. Now,
then again, think about AP, and he's got a no-nonsense attitude with these players. Like, look, he's has a relationship with Jack. So obviously Jack's not going to get himself in any shit. But, like, I feel like it's like you fuck up once, you're done. That's how I'm looking at it with him.
Yeah, but bro, this is what I've always learned in my life. When people show you who they are, believe them. This is not a good person. Some of the shit that I've seen that he's done, like sending naked pictures to some kid's mom that he's beefing with, that's not a good or mature guy. People are like, oh, the kid was like 17. It doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. You don't do shit like that. You know what I mean? So just from that, I'm never a proponent of people, guys that are adults playing in the kiddie pool with kids. Like me, I don't deal in kids' business. I never have. I don't do kiddie shit. I'm a man, right? Men don't do shit like that. Men don't do shit like that. Men don't do nonsense, man. Men, if you're a man, you be a man all the damn time, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, and you deal with situations as they come. Real situations, not nonsense.
The jacked up part about this whole thing is that he'll probably sign on with a team who is a contender, a Super Bowl
or something like that.
Yeah, and if it doesn't work out with him, it doesn't hurt him too much. We can't afford to have a guy that we're counting on, to come in and then something happens and he's gone and we lose his services. So those kind of teams are kind of already out of the mix. You know, a team that's like, you know, we just want some depth just in case, or, you know, something like that. Add another guy just for the heck of it. You know, that's the type of move that he'll end up signing. He'll end up going to a contender. I don't see him being anywhere near what we got going on over here.
Okay. Well, somebody was saying, guys, there's been no rumors or there's been no people asking if Jack Jones failed the drug. He didn't fail a drug test. He took a drug test. You know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily know how fast those results come out, but he took the test yesterday. So I don't know if they would come out that fast. So you know what I'm saying?
He wasn't complaining about doing the test. He was complaining about the timing of the test.
Yeah. Yeah. And guys, you got to understand, I don't think that guys are getting dinged for marijuana anymore.
No, that's not a thing no more, man.
Marijuana is not a thing, right? So I think Jack Jones is fine. That's never been an issue with him. You know, Jack Jones has always been, you know, the one off the field thing he had was him forgetting, you know, that he had a firearm. A lot of people have made that mistake. So like a lot of people are assuming the worst with Jack Jones, and I hate that, man. I think Jack Jones has got his head screwed on straight. He's going to be fine, man. Yeah, my guy. Yo, we got a new member of the Wasted Talent Army, and FRGU. Shout out to you, man. Thank you for joining the Wasted Talent Army. Thank all of you guys for pulling up here. My guy, King Juice, Holy Wasted, and Big Dog Hammer. What it do? If Jack Jones does test, he's not testing effing positive. King Juice, what the F is wrong with you guys? The hell is going on here? Do you guys want this to happen? Is this Raider PTSD? I mean, damn it. Everybody with this Jack, just stop putting it in universe. Ruining my damn night. The F is wrong with you guys, man.
Nasty work in these streets, man.
Hey, hug these, man. Hey, man, listen, man. Happens every now. I know it's signs all over the place. I know it's signs, hug these. I mean, who amongst us has not had a biscuit in their bag and not forget? Stop playing it out, man.
Hey, man. Hey, signs don't mean nothing, man. I'll look at a door. It says push, and I'm pulling. So, you know, is what it is.
Listen, man. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man.
Signs get overlooked. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, please don't you guys be putting the negativity out into the universe, man. Please. We cannot have anything happen to Jack. Please. God in heaven, please, man. Yo, hey, hug D's. Pause. What the F is wrong with you, reading, bro? This guy is going crazy in the chat today. F and hug D's, man. I'm rooting for the guy to be the guy in the back end. Oh, pause on you too, and pause on you too. You're rooting for him to be the guy on the back end. Hammer, can we get a bang zoom here? Bang zoom! Bang zoom! Thank you. What the F is going on, man? Yo, really quickly, and then we're going to get out of here. I know I don't want to hold you guys too long, man. My guy, Renee Revolta, 95. What QB would you rather have, Dak or Shador? Shador, 100%. You know, you go with the young guy, rookie contract. You don't want to pay Dak Prescott an ungodly amount of money, $60 million to be, you know, the darker DC. The F out of here with that. And matter of fact, let me not say that, because DC never played as well as Dak Prescott. So, you know, let me stop doing that. Jenny High Stakes Castillo. I see Xavien Howard signing with the Queefs. The NFL national media will help making all that go away, just like with Rashee Rice with no suspension. Here we go with the Raider paranoia. I love it. If it's one team that can get away with it, it is the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't see them having a need for Xavien Howard. I mean, maybe he signs on a cheap, you know, because they lost L'Jarius Sneed. But I think they're pretty much going with their youth movement. The Chiefs know that they have to rebuild this team because they have such an oppressive contract with Patrick Mahomes being under center. They are not wasting any money, man. They're paying two blue chip guys, Chris Jones and Patrick Mahomes, and they're paying Travis Kelce. So I don't really see it happening. What about you guys, man?
Nope.
Or maybe that's just me being a Raider and praying it doesn't happen.
I also didn't know that Rashee Rice did not get suspended. I'm very, very bothered.
Oh, yeah, no, he didn't get suspended at all. Bro, he played for the Chiefs. You know what it is.
It's fucking bullshit.
Yeah, man, listen, bro. I'm going to be honest with you, bro, and I shouldn't even say this on the air, but I'm going to say it, right? It's late. It's Friday night. F it. If I'm the Raiders every time I get a chance, man, I'm having one of those young linebackers, like Amari Burney or one of them, go out there and just crush Patrick Mahomes at any chance they get. Old school Raider shit. Crash into him like a goddamn comet. F him.
Hey, get the whole squad to pay the fine too.
Yeah, man. F him. Just that's what I'm talking about.
Hey.
Thank you, Hammer.
Hey.
Fucking crash right into his punk ass for that ring around a rosy bullshit. I'm just tired of them. I just want to see them get beat up. That's what I want, man. I want to see the Chiefs get beat up. Even if we lose one of the games, I want them to leave that game with everybody on a goddamn IR. And Justin Herbert, he gonna get hit anyway. The way Justin Herbert plays the game, he's going to get hit. But Patrick Mahomes doesn't get touched, man. The Chiefs have mastered the art of holding, and they don't give a damn what. And that's the thing, and that's the reason why there's an unfair advantage with the Chiefs. They never get called for holding when they should. They will hold you for 5 goddamn minutes just to make sure that you don't touch Mahomes. Yeah. They're holding this offensive line. It's about how great that offensive line sucks. They all they do is hold. They're a bunch of effing bums. I want to see somebody just said, yo, he said, blast Kermit, yo, you got to chill. Anybody getting blasted here. We're no men getting look about. You gotta relax here, man. But yo, the quarterback must go down, and he must go down hard.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but guys, listen, man. I think that we've beaten the stuffing out of this concept right here. Pause. I think it's about that time to wheel this thing into the train tracks. Thank you, Hammer. Guys, you guys are phenomenal. Just for real, and I'm not even trying to be funny. I ain't trying to blow smoke up your ass. You guys are phenomenal. I really, really appreciate y'all pulling up, man. Both of you. You guys are excellent, man. Now I see, man, I just see there's levels to this shit, man. You guys just have raised this show to levels that I haven't seen, man. Thank you so much, man.
Appreciate it, bro, man. That was fun, man.
That's what's up, man. Yo, make sure you tag Greeny from ESPN after you do it. Yeah, F him.
Reselling them Kobe's. See, you got it on as the image right there, man. What's up with the Kobe's? All white Kobe's on the picture right there.
Yeah, man. Yo, yeah, he ain't selling them, bro.
Yeah, I know.
He ain't selling them, bro. Hey, bro, I'm gonna be real with you though. Them Kobe's is nasty work doing on feet, bro.
They look like wrestling boots.
Yeah, they do, yo. You come out and looking like Macho Man Randy Savage and shit, bro.
Right. Yeah.
It was. They had the South Beach color ones that were kind of dope, and they had the red ones. The red and black ones were kind of dope. I couldn't see myself wearing them, but when I see them, they look really dope. But I just couldn't. I don't see how you can pull them off in an outfit. Yeah. You come out here looking like a glow wrestler or something like that.
For real. Yeah, right.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. Guys, and also too, rest in peace to Psycho Sid. Vicious, man. Rest in peace to Sid, the man that rules the world.
Scared the shit out of me when I was a kid, bro.
Hell yeah.
Man. Scare you guys?
Yeah, bro.
I guess 'cause I'm older than y'all. He never scared.
When he was like in his heyday, I was like 9, 8, 9.
Yeah. I was fucking and driving. I forgot I'm so much older than you guys. but yeah, I remember with Sid Vicious was when him and the Undertaker were a tag team. They were first it was him and Danny Spivey, Dangerous Danny Spivey. They were the Skyscrapers, and Teddy Long was their manager. And then they replaced Danny Spivey because he went to the WWE again, and he was like Waylon Mercy or some bullshit like that. Mm-hmm. And then they had the Undertaker, Mean Mark Callis.
Yep.
Mean Mark. And he used to walk the ropes and shit. That's the first time I've ever seen a guy that size do that, man.
Yeah.
And but Sid was the man, bro. He was the man. I remember him in the AWA, all of that, man. I mess with Sid. See, the thing is, my brother and I, we liked the WWF, but we used to like to watch a lot of NWA back in the day. They used to come on Saturday night, so we'd be outside, running around playing and stuff. We come in around 7, 8 o'clock Saturday nights, and we would turn to the Superstation and watch.
That's where Flair started there, right? He started there.
Yeah. The Road Warriors, the Powers of Pain. I'll never forget when when the Road Warriors had that lift off with the Barbarian and the Warlord, and they dropped the weights on Animal Face, and he had to wear the hockey mask and all of that stuff like that. And I used to be wondering to myself, I'm like, yo, man, some of Some look right. Like the Warlord and the Barbarian, big as shit, man. How the hell are they losing to the Road Warriors? Like the Road Warriors are big as shit too. They were all big dudes. But the Barbarian and Warlord, the mother. I was like, yo, I don't see how anybody are beating them jokers, man.
Yeah, for real.
But yeah, man, I was more of an NWA guy. Like Flair, you know Flair, my dog. I used to love Ric Flair. Yeah. Flair and Luger and all of them, man. But
the original world heavyweight title came from over there, man.
Yeah, that's right. Real. Hey there, big man. So you get those butterflies all in your stomach. A real world championship. That was so gangster when he brought the championship for the NWA or WWF. Yeah, I never forget that, man. That's when the Undertaker attacked Hogan.
Yep.
Back in the day, man. Pasty face Undertaker, man. Yo, that's what wrestling was, wrestling, man. Wrestling, I can't really get into it now, man. I hate LA Knight and all those guys. They suck.
Yeah.
They suck. Yeah. He sucks, man. Come, Hammer, come on, you gotta admit, bro.
He doesn't.
He sucks, man. He sucks. I like Roman Reigns, though. I like Roman Reigns. At first, I was like, he sucks. I like Roman Reigns, bro.
Acknowledge me.
Yeah, I like Roman, bro. Roman, all right, man.
I think Cody Rhodes is overrated.
Oh, I do too.
Kind of reminds me of Cena a little bit. He's trying to be Cena right now. It's annoying. So I don't know.
He's like, to finish this story.
Yeah.
The only thing about Cody Rhodes, I got to give him credit. He is bringing the Nature Boy swagger back with the suits.
Oh,
man, he's custom made, custom fitted, like Nature Boy used to say. I can't help it if I'm custom made. I can't help it. What's causing all this?
Oh my God.
Good old Nature, but Nate.
Man. But y'all, thank y'all, man. Let's get on out of here, man. This show has careened. We talked about fantasy football. We talked about wrestling. Man. We talked about all kinds of things, man. And this is what you get on Raider Nation Unlimited, man. Sometimes you get shows like these that you guys can go back on and go into the archives, such as the Telemundo show with Andy.
Telemundo, el mucho extravaganza.
Mucho extravaganza. Stupid, yeah, man. Yeah, bro. Y'all have a great and powerful night. We're going to get out of here. We're going to style and profile. Big Mike, Hammer, thank y'all, man. Peace, man.